live tonight. Liam Rush, our referee. If and when we need him, Liam Moore is in the video box as well. We're underway. The noise is deafening. Hoping that's coming through back home wherever you're watching this. And it will be Catalan who get first touch of the ball, but very deep inside their own half. And the Warrington forwards will be looking to dominate right from the off here, Barry.
Absolutely. After the game, Hull FC talked about how they moved the big forwards around in the Dragons' ranks. You see Julian Bousquet, first up carry from the big Tavita Pangai Jr. as well. They're hard bodies to handle, but Warrington will want to control that ruck speed and the speed of the play of the ball.
Sorry, Barry, 6 new faces in that Catalan lineup, of course. Tommy Makinson, who we know very well, Nick Cottricks, former teammate of George Williams back in Canberra 3 or 4 years ago. Luke Keary, the star of them all, you could argue, the Tavita Pangai Jr. making his first start. He was off the bench last week. Elliot Whitehead and Ollie Partington amongst those who've got through that first set of 6, and now offering Warrington the challenge to try and cart that ball out from deep inside their own half. Thankfully, the smoke is clearing a little. It's at the back of our throats, but it is Warrington who are hoping to show no effect, as here they are with Danny Walker. Curry now in that middling role that Sam Burgess gave to him last year.
Ben Curry running right at Luke Keary there. He's going to make a target, going to make Luke Keary work extra hard in defence. There's that familiar pattern. Matt Duffy, last to play the ball, and a committed chase from Warrington.
Ball goes high in the air, taken safely enough, and Catalan have a chance to reset here through Cottrich, who's tangled up amidst those defenders. And Catalan starting from deep again. The early arm wrestle, as both look to settle, both look to establish a little bit of dominance in these opening stages against their opposition, and you can hear that bubble of anticipation going around the stadium, can't you?
Oh, it's a big period in the history of Super League, not let alone Warrington Wolves. There's that Las Vegas extravaganza around the corner. But they've got to get these 2 points, vitally important points, and they've got to get through the game fit and healthy.
Well, Romano had a bit of a skip there, but he wasn't going anywhere where he wanted to go, because eager Warrington arms grabbing a hold of him and putting him down. Oh, that looked as though it was potentially a little high, and the referee has seen it that way.
Yeah. Well, Ben Curry's got a smile on his face, but he's looking to put pressure on the kicker, and you can see he's nice and tall, and Rougier, yeah. Oh, he clips him, doesn't he? Clips him.
Well, the referee saw that instantly, giving a penalty. Now, is Sam Burgess disgruntled there with a decision, or maybe the appearance in the untimely fashion of Curry?
He's very tall, Ben Curry. They're going to take the 2 on offer. Well, I think from the body language there, he's asking what's wrong with that. But Ben Curry stays tall on a shorter, diminutive player who's off balance, leaning backwards,
what was that, Liam?
and just clips him. Completely unintentional, of course.
The timing was pretty good. High tackle.
Artur Morg has a chance.
I don't think so, no.
The first 2
he's
points.
Factually high. He's not that late. The timing's pretty good. He's just high.
Not so much double top as a little over the top from Ben Curry. On a night which is inevitably darts themed. Moore just settling. The crowd goes quiet as it's been so far tonight. Very decent crowd in here, of course. No real travelling fans from Catalan. Warrington Club have done well to fill the empty spaces that have been left there for, and the kick is good, and Catalan lead here by 2 points to 0.
Well, there he is,
the star of the night.
Luke the Nuke. There's plenty of this game to go. Catalan Dragons pose significant threats, don't they, all over the pitch, all over the park, but Warrington quite rightly paying tribute to one of its favourite sons.
Well, the chant is usually there's only one at Luke Littler, but there's about 5,000 of them here tonight. It's a little unnerving. A couple of kids walked past a couple of kids earlier, and it was like Luke Littler's staring back at you because they've got all these face masks. Not all wearing them at the moment, but 5,000 of them scattered around the crowd. There we go.
Yeah, he's some guy in it and loves our sport. That's why we love him.
Yeah, Warrington fan, man and boy. If you're late to us and you didn't catch any of the build-up, we had a fabulous interview. Jen had a great interview with Luke Littler, expressing his personality like I don't think we've seen before. And he is Warrington fan, man and boy. Well, still boy, isn't he? Garcia out of dummy half, just beyond the 20. So hard work to be done here from a Catalan side who have got the boost of that early lead. But how do Warrington respond? Still very much in the settling stages of this game. A fan trying to make themselves heard.
And that is the danger of a big man. Busquets gets the ball away. Tavita Pangai Jr. got 5 away. Leading offloader last week. You've got to get your contact right on these big men.
There's Romano again, who's chopped down just inside his opponent's half, and Kiri on the last will put that ball high. Dufty safely underneath it, drops to one knee to catch it, and runs back at an efficient Catalan chase.
There were some average performances from Warrington players last week, but he certainly wasn't average. 240 metres made with the ball, come up with a couple of try assists and a try that took the game away from Huddersfield Giants. He can't do it on his own, Dave. He needs his teammates to join in.
Good try, scored as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Last week. Warrington advancing, well, not over menacingly so far. Dufty's up there again. And it will be the last. And he plays the ball, and back it comes, and here comes the chase off the boot of Ollie Leyland, who we'll be talking about plenty, I should imagine, tonight. Makinson takes it safely enough, as we would expect. But early involvement for the man making his Super League debut tonight, Ollie Leyland.
Big opportunity for him, isn't it? Steph Ratchford, he got the position, got the role last week. Wasn't quite his best game, so Sam Burgess has shuffled the pack around. And a massive opportunity for him.
Such a bright star in that London side last year, wasn't he, Ollie Leyland?
Ever present, always leading from the front, carried that team in many respects.
His brother Billy has gone to Hulkingston Rovers, hasn't he, this year? He missed out last year, did Billy, because of an injury he got pre-season, but Ollie took his opportunity. One play to go. Garcia, the dummy half, back it goes with the kick again. Again, the attention is close. Fitzgibbon on that occasion, but all fair and square with that. No complaints there, and Dufty brings it back again to that 30-metre mark.
Another kick with massive pressure on. Warrington look like they've done their homework. They're taking time and space away from the kickers in the Catalan Dragons ranks.
Here's the man who was being hero worshipped before the game, Matty Ashton. And Walker at dummy half will search the middle again. Dan Russell, what did he make of his performance last week? Dan Russell, the Papua New Guinea.
Yeah, he's a nuggety player, isn't he? You know, he's got a lot of experience. Fresh body, fresh face, fresh enthusiasm.
Great to see Fitzgibbon back as well. He has had his injury problems since he's been here, hasn't he? But plays for the first time since against St Helens last September. Lachlan Fitzgibbon. Williams sticks it up there, but it's very well taken here, and immediately Rouge is threatening. Interestingly, he was at full back for that.
Yeah, they rotate and swap. Artia Morg, Cesar Rouge just swap roles, but the chase from Toby King, there was a little nudge from one of the Catalan players. He meant he was in the wrong channel. There'll be an offload. There it is.
Yeah, Pangai Jr.
Got to lock up the ball on him.
Didn't make a massive impression on the line, but he has got it away, and Huntington gets up and plays it. Taken in by Busquets. Wigan leading 6-0 in the early stages, and don't forget, you do have the option, the choice, every single game live on Sky Sports, so that one on Sky Sports Plus if you prefer, but we'd like you to stay with us. 6 again here, so it is going Catalan's way just at the moment. Partington, Garcia, Kiri's gone to that left-hand side, looks as though he's organising things, but the ball comes back down to the middle for Pangai Jr. Well, they're in range. Garcia, Busquets to his right-hand side, prefers the option of Partington. Kiri with a quick pass away, and the interception is thrown away. Bewley's committed and got there. And again, frustration from Steve McNamara's point of view. His side in excellent position, but unable to execute.
Absolutely. He's frustrated, and then they compound that by staying too long in the tackle. Steve McNamara asking for his side when they get opportunities to convert them. Wonderful anticipation by Josh Thulis. Gets up in the line, grabs the ball, and then forces the hand of the referee.
10 minutes played. Just those 2 points at the moment as Russell rolls it forward. Walker back to dummy half. Searching the middle. Here's Vaughan. Again, his ankles gathered, so he couldn't make any of those famous meters of his after contact. Williams, Dufty trying to dance away from the attentions of a couple. And now Walker. This is Curry with a step to change an angle of the run. Away it goes to Walker.
Another offload. This time it's from Ben Curry and Warrington.
Well, they're gathering steam, they're gathering yards. They've still got a couple of plays to go. Catalan smart in defence. Partington up there to try and cut things down, but the ball's still freed. Dufty back where they started from, really. But they've got a kick to come here from Williams. He'll take the extra yard or two before he puts it up. This is a challenge. King's underneath it. It's kept alive. It's taken on by Ashton. Remember, this is still the sixth. And Leyland with a kick out of desperation as much as anything, and carefully gathered in by Cesar Rouge, and runs back into a wall of Warrington defenders.
It's a scruffy end to the set, but it does raise the levels of stress and anxiety for the Catalan Dragons. Ultimately, it's dealt well by Cesar Rouge.
Cottridge up to play. Catalan again, so much hard work to do. Romano, outside backs, doing some heavy lifting in the early stages. Garcia. Just a clatter, bang, wallop down the middle again.
There are 4 defenders on him. As he grows into the game and the competition, more and more defenders will commit to him.
It's one who came with big reputation, Eddie Pangai Jr. And Timorg is almost skittled over. They've not quite reached the halfway line, and they have reached the end of the set. As Rouge sticks it up there, pouched by Dufty, and it's a familiar path he's treading again, but this time Catalan's defenders with chance to get a little further forward, and Warrington start from there, 20 metres from their own line, and it is an arm wrestle at the moment.
It was an arm wrestle when I watched Warrington play Huddersfield last week. Were it not for the missed opportunities and the mistakes from Catalan Dragons, they were quite happy to keep getting to the end of sets, finishing with a kick.
Here's Williams, who was frankly awful last week, wasn't he? I think his coach said it was the scratchiest he'd ever seen him play. And I think he was admitting himself that he was very much off colour. He'll be hoping for better tonight. Here's Leyland with a kick away before Sirinen gets to him. And that hangs in the air, and it just gave an opportunity for Warrington to recollect, but it is going to be Catalan who have it instead.
How nasty the kicks from Ollie Leyland. They're not particularly deep, but they're high and hang in the air, giving time, plenty of time for the kick chase team. And only about 20 metres in distance, but difficult to deal with.
It's one of those as well that you do hope the London experiment, if you can still call it that after these years, has some longevity, because Maidstone born, he was there since he was a 16-year-old. Had London Broncos not existed, he would not be a professional rugby league player. And there's a few around.
Yeah, there is.
Good players who will say that. Meantime, Catalan have an opportunity here. Here's Laguerre looking now for Makinson. Makinson's got space, tries the outside of brilliant. Dufty's fullback play is exemplary. Sliding across, cover the options, and make the tackle a good one.
Outstanding work, Tommy Makinson. How many times have we seen him in that familiar stride, tucked under his right arm? Mathieu Laguerre comes off an offload again, does everything right. Matt Dufty. I'm not sure what Tommy Makinson is thinking here. Is he going to run round him? Is he going to step, run into him? It's top-class fullback play, but it wasn't difficult from Tommy Makinson, who's more experienced than that.
Well, a chance for Catalan. A line break for Catalan. But they remain with just the 2 from the penalty. This is Vaughan now, smashing it. Walker just jogging up to dummy half again. Leyland up to the line and plays it back. Williams now, quick hands, but well read by Tommy Makinson. A little bit of a return of the favour there.
He's asking for a knock-on as well.
Williams spinning it and finding the pace of Ashton, but it's a forward pass.
Wasn't far off, was it? It was a bullet spin pass into the path of Matty Ashton. Set play goes across the face of 2 players. You can see George Williams wants to keep his hips square, doesn't want to give away how far he's throwing that ball. But yeah, probably right in front of us. He's scrunching up his face, but I think we know, don't we, Dave?
Well, just a couple of yards forward,
yeah,
Barry. Just a couple of yards.
Just a bit. It looked good, though. No creases in the spin.
So Warrington frustrated. Catalan have it back. And not a bad place to start as well in the context of the game. Their first play the ball will be inside their opponent's half. Rouget's gone up there. This is taken on by Sirinen, Bailey Sirinen. Garcia wants it played quickly. Warrington are hanging on for as long as they are permitted by the referee. Here comes Keary. And inside step by Elliot Whitehead, another of the Canberra bunch on the field, and he's knocked on.
Yeah, he wasn't confident on his approach to that ball. It looks like probably in the wrong channel, Elliot Whitehead. Still another one of the players trying to get used to the new surroundings, new terms, new calls. You can see he catches it on his right hip. I don't know whether he thinks that ball is meant for somebody else. Another mistake to frustrate the coach. Danny Walker talks about that enthusiasm and energy he brings to his teammates. 16.5 minutes on the clock. I think Catalan have had the better parts of this opening.
What a try would do for their confidence, Catalan.
I think Catalan are closer to a try than Warrington in terms of field position, but those mistakes and not converting.
Well, there's applause going around the stadium at the moment, and I think Jenna down on the touchline can tell us a little bit more about this.
Yeah, evening, Dave. I can tell you it's extremely sad news. Lily Day, who was a prop forward for Warrington's academy, has sadly passed away this week at the age of just 17, hence the 17th minute, this 1 minute round of applause. I can tell you that Joe Philbin has warmed up this evening in a special shirt with Lily's heritage number on his back, and in honour of her memory, of course, our thoughts and prayers are with Lily's family right now.
Absolutely heartbreaking, absolutely heartbreaking.
Very sad.
Everybody's thoughts with Lily's family and friends, I'm sure. As the applause continues to ring out around the stadium. Catalan here looking to build from the back. The offload is adventurous, and it's collected by Garcia. Kotric shaking off a couple of defenders. He's got some strength out there, but eventually he's wrestled down.
Both teams look like they're willing to offload that ball. We make it 4 apiece now. Might be another one here from the big man.
Pangai Jr. How did he get that one out? I think David Copperfield's playing Vegas at the moment. I think he would have looked at that and scratched his head. How did he get that away? Kiri's pass gone backwards. That's less impressive.
He's a very different shape, but Ali Lawatiti was the same. He was a magician with the ball.
That's huge by Rouge, and Dufty didn't really commit to that. Well, he's certainly not touched it, because if he had, it would have been offside against Ashton. The referee said it wasn't touched.
And a good chase from Catalan. 4 players round about where the ball is. Here's that offload again. Lovely stuff from the big man. Love it.
He'll be sawing people in half next week on the strip.
Move to meter and square. Wait, hold, go to.
He's not going, is he? Anyway, Warrington back in possession.
I hope not.
Walker into dummy half. Looking for a break in the game. We've seen moments in the match thus far, but nothing definitive in terms of tries. But maybe Dufty has something to show here.
Does that so well on the last tackle, doesn't it? Quick play of the ball. You can see defenders on the floor.
Walker back to Leyland. Kotric in position, safely enough, early enough. Chance to channel it back to where it came from. Stopped in his tracks on the 30-metre point. Both sides still looking. Either side still looking for a little bit of dominance, a little bit of one-upmanship against their opponents. Makinson offloads. It's a theme of this Catalan side at the moment, the offloads.
Tavita Pangai Jr., who's been a star of that first 20 minutes in the offload stakes, has been rotated now. He'll take a rest.
Tarek Sims has come on, hasn't he? And another offload. And Kiri goes left. And Romano is upended. But gets up and plays as quickly as he can. Kiri again. Back it comes to Moore. Couple of dummy runs and then gets it away to Laguerre. Laguerre just flicking one up. Bit of space for Sirinen to try and exploit. Romano onto Kotric. Kotric chipping it over, but I think he was out of play before he put boot to ball. So Warrington get it back on the 20.
It's ambitious and expansive, isn't it, from Catalan? Certainly promoting the ball, prepared to make the ball work. There might have been a hand.
Yeah, sorry, it's an infringement, isn't it?
It's been a frustrating start to the year for Steve McNamara so far.
Yeah, I don't know whether Josh Lewis touches that ball.
Back!
Warrington get the ball back anyway.
Okay, when you're ready. Go.
It's another of those games, isn't it? We've seen several of them so far already in the opening couple of weeks where defences are working really hard, attacks finding it difficult to unpick the patchwork ahead of them. And this is settling into that kind of rhythm and that feel at the moment.
And let's be honest, it's that part of the year, isn't it? They've spent a long time preparing for the first couple of games. And the mentality of most Super League teams is sort your defence out, get that right. And the other elements of the game, that's a good kick.
That's Leyland looking for a 40-20 here, but
just the wrong bounce, wasn't it?
Where do you want it? 50.
But yeah, defences are on top.
Play the ball here.
Credit to both sides here tonight.
Play the ball, yeah. Play the ball here. Ole. Ole, a little bit quicker, Indy.
they'll be growing in confidence.
Back.
He's had a couple of good involvements, hasn't he, in the opening quarter?
Go. No tackle.
Doesn't look out of place.
No. Well, I mean, he had a full Super League year last year, didn't he? In a side that struggled, he would have learned a lot of lessons.
Don't trap him in.
A couple of eye-catching wins, of course, London, towards the back end of the year, but for the most part,
I suspect it's a different changing room that he walks in now, which the superstars that Warrington have.
Warrington fans building a bit of atmosphere again here, trying to encourage their side in defence, trying to restrict the metres being made by this big Catalan unit. It's left to Kiri, up to the line, well by him, and Sirinen takes a tumble. Last play, skip back to Kiri again. Kick is high, there's not a great chase on that, but it's a beautifully flighted kick, isn't it? Dufty right in the corner. Couldn't have been more difficult, and for that reason, Catalan keep them down there.
And that's what they want to do, the Catalan Dragons. Kick into the corner, make it difficult in these early tackles for Warrington to gain momentum or metres.
Well, there's some of the games you can watch over the weekend. Salford back to full strength tomorrow. You might have seen that. Can select from their full strength squad against Leeds. Bench podcast on Mondays. Really fascinating one. They're always fascinating. Go to Sky Sports/podcast. Have a look there. Jenna and John Wilkin chatting to different personalities from the game. Carl Fitzpatrick on Monday ahead of Las Vegas. So make sure you download and listen to that. Put it on your favourites list. Penalty here for Warrington.
Alseguer just staying in too long in the tackle.
There's no need for you to come up from over there.
He's penalised. I think it's Jordy Crowder who's trying to play the ball for Warrington Wolves. A little bit of chatter from the players, but with the referee, Liam Rush. They're in his ear. They're not, I suspect they're frustrated with the lack of speed that they play the ball, because they're getting bodies in. Because of those big Catalan forwards controlling the speed, they haven't got any momentum at all. You can see it here again.
Is there a set here with Warrington building inside their opponent's half when they can finally break this door down? Resolutely closed so far, but momentum with them. This is Fitzgibbon who gets it back to Dufty, and Dufty goes scouting for a glimpse of daylight in the middle. The ball over the top is for Lindop.
Move, Nick, and square. Wait. Go 3.
Still 35 metres to cover.
Tariq, straight out.
Russell.
4. Back, wait. Go 4.
Couple of plays to go. Curry back on the inside, but boy, did Garcia read that move. Shoulder in place. 1 play to go, 10 metres out, as good as it's been so far. Williams, but again, the defence holds tight, and Catalan, so congratulations, led by Kiri, and they have the ball back.
You're right, Dave. We've looked to our right for the majority of this game. This is the best start to a set defensively that the Warrington Wolves have had all night.
Wigan now leading by 10 points to 0. That's a problem for Hull because, as we know, Wigan don't concede many at the moment. Penalty here for Catalan, which relieves the pressure.
I'm looking at the body language of the Warrington players. When this whistle is blown, arms up, head in hands, frustration in the ranks.
Sal, mate, thank you.
Well, whether Sam Burgess is in Vegas or not next week, that's a question still to be answered. And as he was saying before, quite resolutely, he's focused on tonight just at the moment. He won't be entirely happy with what he's watching. Sims with the carry. Garcia's got all the time in the world to consider what he does next. Partington puts it back, a step from Moore, but they're all over him. As soon as he got that ball, every option closed down. Garcia again, Partington, short and flat, and 90% of the audience thought forward.
Looked it from up here too.
Garcia, Kiri, and just overrun on that occasion. And clumsy again from Catalan.
I like it when Kiri takes it to the line, but he's still trying to forge those partnerships. You can see he's chatting to the players around him. Timing is off because he's a new player within the ranks, and you can see it's behind the centre.
Well, he's got to have an influence, hasn't he?
I mentioned it before. Not only is he trying to learn the new terminology and what players around him want and need, he's trying to learn how to say it in French, the Ireland international.
Yeah. 3 times grand finalist, of course, 3 times grand final winner, I should say.
And one of those were alongside Sam Burgess for South Sydney.
You wouldn't have played alongside him. You'd have retired from your Irish participation well before he came along, wouldn't you?
No, I met him here actually. The Ireland team trained here and came down and spent some time with the troops in the last World Cup.
That's a good carry by Philbin. He tends to have that kind of effect when he comes on from the bench, and Leyland just trying to roll the tackle, having judged the pass was not advisable in those circumstances.
Clear.
And Williams now with a short no-look pass again for Fitzgibbon. 1 play to go. Warrington still 25 metres away. Walker dances left. Williams with that right foot just jabs it up there. Rouget's underneath it, and he's lost the ball. And it's going to be King who takes advantage and scores the try. If it's given, we're off to the video referee.
It will be tackle 1. I have a try.
He says try on the field.
Just check the kick, the contest,
So a big decision here to see whether this is the first Warrington try of the night, the first try of the night from our video referee.
Live decision is try. We're looking to establish first if the chaser are onside. We can see they are, so we're playing on from this point. We're looking at the challenging contest, please. Got something close. Who does this come off? Arms are up. Genuine contest for the ball. Both eyes are on the ball. That appears to be off Catalans there. We've got any other angles, please, just to confirm that. Let's go nice and slow on this, please. So we can see both arms are up. And that is off Catalans at that point. So we can play on from here, please. We're looking at the grounding now. Still play it through, and we can see the ball is grounded. I made my decision.
It's going to be his second Super League try of the season for Toby King. One last week against his former club Huddersfield. One here tonight so far against Catalan. And Warrington, as it's confirmed to the crowd, are going to take the lead here. Takes a while, doesn't it? Here we go. Try confirmed. Toby King, the scorer. He's happy.
He's happier. Happier. They're not quite there yet. Big Toby King, as you said, 2 in 2 weeks for the big centre. One of the best in the competition at competing for those high kicks. It was a mismatch in terms of size. It's always difficult for the fullback with attacking players running towards him. Matty Ashton, Toby King make it too hard for him. Improves the angle. And it's taken 29 minutes, hasn't it, Dave? But the Warrington Wolves are on the scoreboard.
King, the scorer. His popular announcement on the PA system here. And now Josh Gulis taking over the goal-kicking duties. He did latterly in the match last week against Huddersfield from Stefan Ratchford, and he puts that over, and Warrington lead by 6 points to 2.
30 minutes on the clock. And the way that they've approached this game, the way that they've tried to defend their way through the opening 30 minutes, try and handle what Catalan Dragons have thrown at them in attack, which hasn't been much, if we're honest. I think this is either the second or third time they've had the chance to put some stress on the line of Catalan Dragons, and they've come away with 6 points.
But how much frustration from Catalan point of view? I mean, they've not had glaring chances, but that when they have been in that position, they have been, to use a word which everybody seems to be using at the moment, clunky.
Well, I would look back to the winger, Tommy Makinson, who gets them right 99 out of 100. The fullback, Matt Duff, they just cleaned him up, and that's not like Tommy Makinson. And that's probably indicative of the team.
So here's Walker, dummy half. Warrington advancing to within 20 of that halfway line, and Philbin threatening to make that half break. Gets up and plays it, little untidy, slowish therefore. Leyland behind a 40, but that's irrelevant. Kicks it downfield, fairly central. No mistake this time from Cesar Rouge. He'll run it back, and again it's a good Warrington chase. And Kotrich, with his strength and his power, just sneaks an extra 8 or 9 metres there.
I'm going to tell you that's 13 offloads from Catalan Dragons. That's on the first tackle from a kick return. They've certainly got it in the mind that that's what they're going to do in this match. Good line speed.
That was like an HGV with its lights flashing. Tommy Makinson must have looked up and panicked there.
Well, they know him, don't they? They know Tommy Makinson.
There's Romano.
If he gets some momentum up, Tommy Makinson breaks tackles, beat defenders. There you go.
Tough sport. Slow motion doesn't do it justice, does it? Two of them, they were almost arm in arm. No avoidance. There's a grab by Philbin. And it's a handover, because that was a 6th.
You're right. You're right. Paul Sagier is about 6'8", 6'9". If he's a little bit shorter, that's a head contact. Came into the game off the bench. The referee's saying it's across the chest. It's only because he's
Oh, we get time.
7 foot tall, isn't it?
Okay, play. Go on.
Walker. Inside for King.
One. Move, Elliot. Leave the ball. Hold.
Walker again.
Wasn't he good last week? Really growing into his role, Aaron Lindop.
Yeah.
Took his try really well.
And we watched on Sky Sports last night. We saw Pratt, didn't we? Ollie Pratt.
Oliver Pratt, yeah.
Brilliant
We've got some
full
really,
Wakefield. He's another one.
really good young centres knocking about.
Markers are in.
Walker is having a trouble. Da Costa just clipped his heels. Otherwise, he was on the fly.
Back and hold.
But Warrington just building more pressure again here, looking more assured now as Dufty skips across, trying to create a bit of room for those on the outside. Lindop comes cutting back inside again with a step and a penalty given. High tackle.
Some movement, evasion from Warrington in attack. You know Matt Dufty's not going to take the straight route. He's not going to run from A to B. And Luke Keary, yeah, it's an unusual tackle technique, isn't it?
Well, he put himself right in the headlines last season, didn't he? Lindop against Catalan, in Catalan, first week of the season when he scored a wonderful try. And he's getting a real chance at the start of this season, his second performance so far. Curry's taken Warrington to within sight. This is a short pass as Philbin tries to crash through. And has he dropped it? Yes, he has.
Yeah. It was at the line from Geordie Crowther. Put real pressure on Joe Philbin, who's got bodies in front of him, who've got bad intentions, haven't they, near their own try line.
Where do you want it, Luke?
I bet when he's caught that ball, he said, thank you very much, catches it down near his midriff. It's a decent tackle from Paul Seguier.
What's that? Just running. Yeah, I know, but you jump and you...
And the Dragons repel the Warrington Wolves on that occasion.
Heads in, 15 seconds. Heads in. Lock in, head in. Danny, with your loose, Danny.
Shot clock's on.
Heads in.
Counting down, so they'll have to get on with it. They do. And Catalan again with a big task on their hands. Long way to cover if they are going to get glory in this set. At the moment, it's just a focus on getting as many yards as possible and hoping for a decent kick at the end of that. Da Costa gathers it in, relatively fresh from the bench, Da Costa. Sims, more centrish than we're used to seeing him. Because they're missing some big fellas down the middle, Catalan. We missed the news beforehand. Satai left at home because of illness. This is Keary. Back it comes to Rouge.
It's great defence from Warrington, although when he catches that ball, he's very far away from the line, says Rouge. They've defended really well, Warrington Wolves. They're completing high, over 90%. So they're looking to put some work in, make the Dragons defend a little bit and capitalise that, perhaps, in the final quarter.
Well, that was Fewless with a carry, and Warrington now regathering themselves. Those behind to play the ball. Lindop. Others just conserving a little energy before they'll be brought into the action. Walker again, looking left. Trying to find any kind of lack of resistance in that Catalan line, but Fitzgibbon dealt with. Walker. Fitzgibbon's asking questions. Walker just carries on before the answers are given. Philbin up to the halfway line. 4 gone, 2 to go. Miss out Curry. Leyland back to Williams. Short pass again. Almost through from Russell. Last play. Walker. Williams. Now Lindop with a kick in the chase. It's pinged off a couple of bodies. What does the referee say here? He says it was knocked on by Lindop rather. So it will be a handover.
Well, they went the risky play, short side, taking it to the line, not looking at the kick, and the centre with limited options decides to kick it. There's a rebound, a knock-on. Catalan Dragons will get the ball. Yeah, just talking about that try last week, I thought he was really mature in the way that he carried it in 2 hands, assessed the situation, ultimately got over the whitewash. It was a lovely play.
Kotric Head down and a bustle and an offload. Again. Kiri quick hands. They bat it on. Mekinson has to go back and gather, and finds that Ashton's right in his face with the help of Toby King. Wigan, by the way, have extended their lead. Whole nil, Wigan 16.
Straight out, bang and square. Joe back. Go. 3, well done, Joe.
Picked up by Laguerre. Kiri.
Okay.
Rouge. Trying to help things on, but Romano's tripped legally before he can get too much into his stride. Just a heavy carry forward again by Sims, and again the offload, and Da Costa throws left, and suddenly there are opportunities here. Romano gets the pass away. Kotric looking back on the inside here. He's allowed to play on. I thought the referee was looking at forward pass, but he's not giving it. And Kotric, wow, some strength there, and he's only just denied one play, and Catalan are a stride away. Switching it out, untidy. Whitehead gets it on. Now it comes to Laguerre. Laguerre tries to put the big see you later, and he's shown some strength as well. Has he touched it down? Well, there's a real battle going on there. This is a big decision from the referee as to how he saw it. What does he say?
We have a try.
Try on the field. Well, that could affect the outcome. Let's hear from our video referee again. Here is Liam Moore.
Okay, a live decision is a try on field. We're looking to establish if he does in fact get to the try line. So we can see it's very close on this one. Keep playing it through, please. Yeah, so we lose the ball on that. Is there any other angles that may assist me? Yeah, so go nice and slow on this one, please. Yeah, go nice and slow. We might be blocked here by Ashton. Yeah, we'll lose the ball on that one. Camera 5 may assist us. So yeah, nice and slow on this one, please. So we've confirmed he's in possession. Nice and slow. Still in possession. Again, the ball tees over. Go back to the first angle you showed me, please. And we'll finish on this one. So we can see the... Keep it playing it through, please. Keep playing, keep playing. So the live decision is a try on field, and there is insufficient evidence to say that ball does not touch the try line. So I made that decision.
Well, as we've seen so often, whatever the referee thinks, his gut reaction out there really does play a part in whether it's given or not. I think Warrington felt they were victims of one of those against Hull KR last year, didn't they?
It was a try, Dave. You could see it a mile off.
Well, it's confirmed, Barry. It says try on the big screen, so there can be no arguments.
What a finish from Mathieu Laguerre. 3 defenders around him.
Yeah, cheers, Matty.
Most teams feed off the atmosphere, feed off the roar and the cheer of the fans. Well, Catalan Dragons feed from the silence. They've silenced this crowd. It's a scruffy pass. It looks like it's a mistake to pass it. He shows it, which then means that Matty Ashton drops off Mathieu Laguerre. Has to account for the winger, you can see him. And then it's a handoff, it's a bump off, and he slams that ball down, getting the Dragons.
So big kick to come for Artur Morg now to try and give his side the lead again. Steps back, hits it wide. So it will remain all square at half-time with only 30 seconds to go. Not sure if Warrington are going to restart here.
And we're going to go back to those offloads. Many offloads. And what does an offload do? Well, it creates time, space, and confusion in the mind of defenders. It's certainly something that's working for the Dragons this evening.
Danny.
We're going to restart, get it back underway. Is there another twist in the final seconds of this first half? Catalan Dragons coming here under pressure. Disappointing last week on home turf. But tonight, they are holding a much-fancied Warrington level at half-time. Mathieu Laguerre's brute force giving them their try after Toby King had pounced on a mistake earlier in the half. The boot of Morg and the boot of Thewlis adding 2 apiece, and at half-time it's Warrington 6, Catalan 6.
Dave, Barry, thank you very much. Yes, it's a half-time scoreline you feel the Catalan Dragons would certainly have taken going into this game. Level at half-time with the Warrington Wolves, courtesy of Mathieu Laguerre's bustling run on the right edge late in that first half. Unconverted by Morg, they're locked up at 6 points apiece. But what did Jody Cunningham and John Wilkin make of the first 40 minutes? You'll find out of a short break here at the Luke Littler Stadium. Hasn't there been drama in Riyadh this week? We got a massive night of boxing coming up for you as Dimitri Bivol looks to avenge his solitary career defeat against Artur Beterbiev. The pair are locking horns in an undisputed world light heavyweight title rematch. And of course, with Daniel Dubois sidelined due to illness, in steps danger man Martin Bacolet to take up the challenge of former champion Joshua Parker. An all British showdown as well between Joshua Boatsi and Callum Smith. Plenty more on a packed bill, with live coverage from Riyadh getting underway from 4 p.m. tomorrow on Sky Sports Box Office. The event is available to Sky residential customers and also non-Sky customers via the Sky Sports Box Office app in the UK and Ireland. Virgin Media and EETV customers, please contact your operator. Go to skysports.com/box office for more information. Let's take you to the MKM Stadium. The Black and Whites are in their first home game of the new season. They've won in round 1. They are in a big hole in round 2 against the champions, the Wigan Warriors, who are bouncing back in style from their opening night defeat to Lee. This was their first score of the game. Jai Field, who bagged a brace in the first half. He's assisted in giving Wigan a 22-0 half-time lead over Hull FC. We're locked up at the Luke Littler Stadium at 6 points apiece between the Warrington Wolves and Catalan Dragons. You can see some of the Dragons' intent when we look at the stats. Very high completion rate from the Warrington Wolves was just over 90 as we headed towards the half-time. That's dipped slightly down to 82. But the Catalan Dragons, who are offloading at will, 16 to the Warrington Wolves 5, looking to move the ball, but there's not a whole lot of impact. Let's get the thoughts of John Wilkin and Jody Cunningham here pitch side. An atmospheric pitch side, but a game, Jody, it's fair to say, that hasn't sparked yet.
Not quite yet. I mean, Catalan had the better share of possession and field position in that first half, but just weren't quite clicking. Again, what we've seen previously, just not quite clicking in attack, and it cost them in the end. Despite all the offloads, I don't think they were necessarily taking advantage of that, and then ended up going 6 points down early on.
First points of the game went to Artur Morg with a penalty. The first try of the game then went to the Warrington Wolves.
Yeah, and Warrington hadn't really fired any shots in the game whatsoever. Very few limited attacking opportunities. It's a kick from George Williams into the corner of the Cesar Rougier. It's incredibly accurate, and when you've got Toby King, a willing chaser, it's just a great kick target. It's an accurate kick, but as I said, for a team, Catalan were dominant in the opening half in terms of possession, field position, everything. This was one chance that Warrington had, and maybe a lesson for Catalan. Steve McNamara said it, you've got to turn pressure into points. They failed to do that and went behind after that score.
As Barry said in the commentary, didn't quite put a smile on the face of the special guest here at the Luke Littler Stadium, Luke himself, but I'm sure it cheered him up a little. Let's hear from him now. He's parading around pitchside and getting the acclaim from the terraces where he stands, Jenna.
Oh, he certainly is, Brian. Luke Littler, could you have ever imagined walking on this pitch with 5,000 Luke Littlers singing your praise?
Never ever dreamed of it. I've said plenty of times, I've done so much for myself, and to have the opportunity from the Warrington staff and everyone here to invite me here, and for one night only, for it to be my stadium, it means the world.
I know you had a similar experience recently at Old Trafford. How does this one compare?
it's obviously different because football and rugby, but it's just incredible. My local team, obviously big Manchester United fan, but now the season's kicked off, this one means a lot.
Well, I have to ask, what would you rather, Manchester United winning the Premier League or the Warrington Wolves winning Super League?
That is so tough. I've seen Sir Alex Ferguson's last league title, so I'd have to say Wire winning the league.
I mean, that is a wise choice given where you are, but just take a look around, look at these people. They are all here for you. Luke Littler, your stadium awaits. Enjoy this moment.
Oh, it is special. It's special for him, and let me tell you, it's special for the hundreds and hundreds of fans. They're crammed in front of the terraces where he himself stands, and he's orchestrating. I'll tell you what, I don't think I've ever seen the world champion like this. This is absolutely superb, John and Jody.
Yeah, incredible. Look at that. As a Warrington fan who stood up in the terraces, to be able to see the crowd cheering him on like that, you can see how much it means to him in one occasion.
Well, let's have a quick look at what might not have cheered him and disappointed him, which was the Matty Laguerre try late in that half, which has given Steve McNamara and the Dragons huge hope.
Yeah, it was one of the only times that one of the Catalan offloads actually came to something. They were compulsive in this department, really just showing a willingness to promote the ball when they could. Many of them went to ground, this one didn't. You know what I was impressed with? Once it got in Nick Cotterich's hands, he looks like an athlete, doesn't he? But once they got into this end of the field, again, just playing fast and loose, but this is the only time that they seem to string 3 or 4 passes together.
Yeah, they did, and look, pass still going to floor. It wasn't crisp, it wasn't clean. But I think Matty Laguerre does incredibly well there to battle off a couple of defenders to get the ball down. This is the first time you really saw some intent in that running to take advantage.
Yeah, Ollie Leyland has to do better, though. You know, it's such a soft tackle from Ollie Leyland. Laguerre brushes him aside. We see it here. It's half-hearted. It's passive. It's not good enough. And Laguerre takes advantage. And that was the glimmer of hope for Catalan. Look, it was scrappy. I think their basic skill's been really poor, Brian. I think the simple passing, catching, the accuracy of that had a lot to play with how frantic it feels for Catalan Dragons.
Okay, they got 40 minutes to fix that up here at the Luke Littler Stadium, and you heard it from the world champion himself, the man who has brought the Sid Waddell trophy here to the stadium. His desire is to see the Wire lift the Super League trophy after the longest of waits. Long way to go in this season. We got 40 more minutes in this round 2 fixture here on Sky Sports.
Sporting events in the world of rugby league. It's getting fiery here. Big moment, and they're in. Away he goes. He's brilliant. Sensational try for the corner. Can you believe it? You do not go anywhere. Strap yourself in.
Dates and times for your diary. Next Saturday, March 1st. Do not miss it. 8:30 p.m. till 6:30 a.m. live with us on Sky Sports as Super League, the NRL, and International Women's Rugby League go to the entertainment capital of the world. Wigan Warriors against the Warrington Wolves. The Raiders against the Warriors. Jodie Cunningham's England side against the Gillaroos, the world champions. And then the NRL Premiers, the outstanding side of the last few years in that competition, take on the Cronulla Sharks. You will not miss a minute of the action with us here on Sky Sports. Well, you've seen 40 minutes of action that cannot separate the Warrington Wolves and Catalan Dragons. 6 points apiece. The Dragons drawing level as they approach half-time, courtesy of Matthew Laguerre's late try. Wigan winning, of course, over in hole 22-0. So the side's going into Vegas with mixed stories at half-time. What was said at half-time? Let's find out from Jenna, who's at the tunnel.
Thanks, Ryan. Steve McNamara really, really happy with when his team went behind. They never gave up. They got right back into it. He's confident that they will go on in this second half. As far as Sam Burgess goes, he said outstanding defence. Couple of areas that he wants them to tidy up. In particular, he felt Catalan Every time they offloaded, that's when they were most dangerous. But let's get this second half underway. Over to you, Dave Woods and Barry McDermott.
Thanks, Jenna. 8 days from Vegas, and don't forget the Bench podcast, which drops on Monday, will feature Carl Fitzpatrick, CEO of Warrington, talking about that big day for Rugby League. Have a look, Sky Sports/podcast, or wherever you get your podcast from. Make sure you download that on a weekly basis. And if you're going to Vegas, there's a few you can catch up on as well. Have a listen. Brad Arthur a couple of weeks ago. Liam Hood, I think it is this week. I wonder if Sam Burgess will be going to Vegas, and whether he'll be on the bench in weeks to come. Well, he's wondering at the moment whether his side could just get a win here tonight. That's the most important factor. 6-6 at half-time, Barry. Does that do either side any favours, do you think, or is that a reflection of the first half?
I think the coach is playing the patient game, trying not to alarm their players, but interesting that Sam... Joe Philbin just about gets hold of that ball. A bit of confusion from the kickoff. Do not let the ball bounce. It's the golden rule. But they talked about defence, particularly Dan Russell, the back row. You asked me about him in the first 5 minutes. He's done a massive amount of work in defence.
Well, Matt Duffy and George Williams doing an impression of the Chuckle brothers there, weren't they? To me, to you. Good job that Philbin was there and the bounce was kind. Otherwise, that could have been a big boost for Catalan at the start. As it is just slowed down initially. Warrington's progress out from deep inside their own territory. Matt Duffy again, taking it in. As you pointed out earlier, he always takes it in on the 5th, doesn't he? And then on the 6th, the kick is from Leyland. Kotrick underneath. But it's a real beast with that run towards the latter stages, which indirectly set up the try. And this time, 3 of them are bullying him, catching him and taking him back.
You asked me the question, Dave. I don't know who would have been more pleased going into the changing rooms at half-time, but I still have the question in my mind now that I approached the game. Who needs these 2 points more? Not who wants them, who needs them. And I think it's the away side that need them more.
Well, there's a little bit of pressure on Steve McNamara. I think he would acknowledge that, won't he? Because it was a disappointing season last year, ultimately, and new signings. I think they'd expect a return. But he's a wise old sage, is McNamara, and he's watching his side now through Romano, who's made the break and is eventually cut down. But on the last play, Da Costa up there at dummy half. Catalan have a chance. Kiri with a kick. Warrington's defensive line looked to be well back there to defend that. They were, but it is going to be the concession of a dropout underneath the sticks.
Tommy Makinson putting all kinds of pressure on Matty Ashton as he tries to pouch that ball. Here's the break. Nice evasion. Artur Romano does the right thing, keeps hold of the ball. I don't know whether that was the right kick. Seemed a very small area to try and get it in, but puts it on the head of Matty Ashton in a good contest.
Going for a short one. We've seen this a few times with that rule change.
We have. It hardly ever comes off, does it?
Doesn't come off, no. And even if it drops short, the opposition still get the ball, which is not a penalty. But anyway, Catalan in prime position. Da Costa waits to deliver again. Kiri now, right at the heart of things. Back it comes. Into the line comes Rougier. Little shuffle of the feet by Kotrick, but that ain't going to fool that on-rushing Warrington defence, who are keen to find the touchline. Find the touchline. Sheer weight of numbers. They were all on the same page. They knew what they wanted to do. If they were at fault for the position they found themselves in, they have just made amends.
Well, he's certainly caught the eye, hasn't he, Nick Kotrick? He's an athletic, strong player. Warrington Wolves in numbers, keep him up, don't allow him to get the ball to ground, therefore completing the tackle. That's great work from the Wolves, and look at the celebrations.
So they have it back, but again, just a little bit in the mire at the moment. King doing his level best to muscle those extra few yards. Kiri now with a spin. So they are finding it a little bit heavy weather here because Catalan's defence is organised and determined. And a pick-up Ashton, who's going to have a little dash and a dart. Wriggle of the hips to try and get himself free, and Warrington advancing again. Williams in the line. But with the last play, they are still 9 short of the halfway line. Also plays. Back it comes to Leyland.
40. Jordan.
Big kick away. Some spin on that ball. It's a good spin, good connection, but Makinson back, as we are accustomed to watching him, running it from deep and finding decent distance.
Go on.
Yeah, fairly conservative start.
Still one.
As I said that, he gets an offload away, Mathieu Leguert.
It's Rouget. Moore, Kiri rather, in the line, trying to promote things. Da Costa comes racing up there to get himself in that position.
Still 3.
And a step from Leguert. 4 gone, 2 to go. He's just stepped off the mark, so the referee says it was untidy, so go back to where it was. He wants a ball. Now he's got the ball.
Go for.
Costa spinning it in. Brought it in with a pass. Hammered forward again. But again, they find themselves on the last here, and a good distance away from where they'd rather be. Warrington have done their job in restricting. Kiri pops it up. It's a dart by Rouget, who's trying to squeeze Romano through the gap, but the gap ain't giving. And handed back Warrington's way. But Catalan dominating position in this second half. So
choosing to run the ball rather than kick it on that last tackle. Had a dig down the short side. I keep thinking about some of the comments from Geordie and John before the game about the strength of carry and the intensity of carry from Warrington Wolves, or lack of it. There's still a little bit of evidence of that, isn't there? Both teams are using the ball, passing the ball, promoting the ball. It's not necessarily doing anything to the defence.
Penalty given. Too much slowing of things down there. It's Tarek Sims, the man who is highlighted. That's a huge clearance as well, and suddenly the balance really does change here, doesn't it? They've taken that tap quickly, and Warrington, who are very much backs to the wall for the previous couple of sets, are now finding themselves with an opportunity here to build. Fitzgibbon, who's got a facial injury. It's the last thing he needs, another injury. Walker. Williams pops it back, and the angled run, searching from Philbin. 10, 12 metres away. Walker's there again. Sudden shift to this right-hand side by a couple of Warrington players. Crowther now tries to line things up. Catalan's defence back on its own line. Walker again, missing out Curry, finding Leyland. Here's Williams. Williams pops it over. Step away, and an effort on that left-hand side by King, but wrapped up, dealt with. 1 play to go. Williams again off that right foot, sends the ball high. Curry gets up there, manages to throw it back. Leyland puts it out. Step inside, this time from Linda. But Catalan's defence scrambling urgently.
Well, it's terrific effort, isn't it? The effort is there from both sides. The quality in attack is just slightly off. The kick was perfect. Ben Curry did a remarkable job to separate himself. That's a great shot from Fitzgibbon, who knocks Leguert off his feet.
Well, what we are learning so far from this Super League season, so far, unless you're playing Salford's kids, you're going to have to be good in attack, because defences are tight, defences are well marshalled. It's another night of that evidence here, just 1 try apiece.
It's very early, we're only on round 2 and the second game of, but I think this season is the closest, the most competitive that we've had since summer era started back in 1996. Everybody's capable of beating everybody else.
Here's Seguier. Seguier underneath a couple of defenders, up and plays. Da Costa spins it back again now. Stuck up in the air by Rouget. Safely taken in by Ashton, who's hitting pace quickly, but hitting shoulders just as quickly. Duffy. Couple gone, 4 to go. This is Thewlis.
James Harrison is on for Warrington. Big ball carrier, big presence.
He was missing last week, wasn't he? Oh, there's Williams with a lovely step, and he's got Walker back on his inside, and there he goes, flying away. Danny Walker underneath the sticks. Warrington back where they were desperate to be. Bullseye for the Warrington Wolves. Walker's in, and they lead again.
Well, Danny Walker, we highlighted him before the game because of what he brings to his side. Energy, enthusiasm, and the ability to put himself where the action is. George Williams, of course, creates the opportunity, breaks the line, keeps his composure. Williams with a little show and goal to the back row of Dan Russell, who I think's been impressive in 49-50 minutes. But Danny Walker passes the ball, keeps in motion, keeps moving, makes himself available, has enough composure to collect that ball and put it under the H's. Great work from the hooker.
Well, they both grew up on the terraces here. Luke Littler watching on, and Danny Walker down there. They might have bumped into each other queuing for the Vimto at half-time at some stage down the years. But it is very much Walker as the headline act at the moment.
Great work. Danny Walker. Super League dream team in 2024. Only missed a couple of games for his side. And of course, he's establishing himself on the international scene. We often talk about his work defensively, but it was his support play on that occasion that gets him and his side 4 and hopefully 6 points.
This is as close to unmissable as you'll see on a rugby league field. Is duly converted. 12 points to 6, Warrington lead, and you get a sense that that is a very big moment in the game, and it might just open things out.
Yeah, we talked about the defensive work that Warrington and Catalan, to be fair, have put in the first half, looking to break the game open in the second half. Danny Walker, doesn't he enjoy himself on a rugby league field? One of those kids you can imagine, dirty knees, snotty nose on a field somewhere in Latchford on a Sunday morning, enjoying everything about rugby league and his teammates.
Well, Catalan need to respond. They need to quell the fire that is suddenly burning bright amongst these Warrington Wolves players. Having scored that try which caught the eye, they are hungry for more, and the Catalan Dragons need to do their level best here. They are under pressure more than at any other point in the game. There's Ashton.
This might be completely left field, this, but I think Warrington love scoring on that side. There's a big contingent, obviously. To our left, as we're looking, is most of the time is the away team. That is full, and they'll love scoring at that end.
For the benefit of those who don't have the option of seeing you on the gantry, Barry was pointing to the end at which they have just scored. That is the classic home end here, isn't it? Kick downfield, Kotrich with a catch, looking for the return. James Harrison wearing a haircut that we've not seen before. It's
more than a cut, that, Dave. It's a scalp.
It was his dad's birthday, Carl's birthday early this week. If you're watching Carl, happy birthday. I wonder if he's blessed that particular cut. Da Costa at dummy half. Catalan looking to unpick, and Keir with an inside pass that tempted Sirenen to have a run, but my goodness, he got his ribcage rattled.
Big tackle from George Williams, not just with the ball, without the ball, imposing himself.
Pangai Jr., they're back on that form of offloads, and tiny but effective. Romano searching a path on the inside, and the forward pass to Artimore has given Warrington the ball back.
Yeah, Artimore tries to support the centre. It's always drifting forward, my word. It's more than a bit forward, isn't it? Here's the tackle from George Williams, picks him up, sends him back where he come from.
Was that Souths? Oh no, New Zealand Warriors, that's what it was, wasn't it? Daily Sermon. James Harrison looks about 5-10 years older, doesn't he, with that cut?
I'm sure he'll appreciate that feedback, Dave.
10 seconds.
They have the ball here, all things being equal from a scrum. Warrington will tell you they haven't really found themselves as smooth a machine as they would like to be so far this season. They're on course for what would be their second win at the moment. Still too tight to call. But they're hoping the motor can purr a little more in this second period now. Curry inside for Harrison. Walker. And again, he's behind the 40 when he lets that fly, so if the angle bounce was better than that, there could have been trouble for Catalans' defence. Instead, Rouget has a chance to bring it clear. Williams is up there, working hard. Walker's there too. And being dragged back. The little men.
I don't mind it. Obviously, he was aware of where he was on the field. He kicks for a 40-20, but his teammates react.
Kotteric.
Half break from Kotteric.
He's been good
impressive
tonight, hasn't he? Taken on by Laguerre. Da Costa.
Kotteric picked up the fastest play-the-ball speed in the competition last week, less than 3 seconds.
Good signing. Good signing, and when they all settle in, well, here they go again through Whitehead. Ball comes out in unexpected fashion and goes out of play in Warrington's favour.
Yeah, sloppy.
Play the ball.
Mathieu Laguerre. I don't know whether he's holding his hamstring there. He's shown up well, hasn't he? Lachlan Fitzgibbon says
Play the ball. Play the ball.
missed games,
Play the ball
staking his claim to be in that team in Vegas.
Back.
Strong presence in the pack and strong presence in the changing rooms.
Harrison again. Walker issuing instructions before bending his back. Vaughan using a bit of footwork to try and give himself more purchase. Walker again. Harrison came running on this right-hand side, but Duffy's involved, and a little dummy and a wiggle of the hips almost buys him space. He's not played this properly.
Wow, there's a mistake there from Matt Duffy. There was nice deception from Danny Walker around the play of the ball. Well, I thought I heard a captain's challenge mentioned there.
On the halfway. Knock on, he uses the floor to regain possession of the ball.
Well, the referee's saying he used the floor to regain possession. So a technical infringement there, although the ball didn't actually leave his hands. You can't use the ball. You have to pull the ball up and get up without it.
Well, a more conservative use of the captain's challenge. Decide not to use it there. I think they blew it after about 6 minutes last week, didn't they, George Williams? But suddenly Catalan are offered an opportunity to attack inside their opponent's half. How do they use it? Sims danced around, hops further. He's making more yards now.
He's put himself around, hasn't it?
Go to play on. Still
Here
two.
he puts it back. Rouget offers it back on the inside. Sirinen comes in.
Hold.
Sirinen put down, but only 15 away. Keary now. They're coming at numbers, but not with effect. And again, the touchline is getting perilously close.
Back for you. Wait. Stand up.
Catalan fellow players lending a hand to make sure they keep in play. And here comes Kotteric.
Still four.
Back to Keary. Keary with a dummy, tries to slide his way through. 6 again, another set for Catalan to have a go. Lovely little flick pass from Da Costa for Pangai Jr. But again, the wall holds.
Come on, go on.
Da Costa now spinning it back. Keary helps it on. Little grab from Morg. Morg gets it away, keeps it alive, and this is Whitehead, and Whitehead can't find a way through. Warrington working hard here, and they're having to. Da Costa again. Sims just crashes forward. Running out of tackles, but they've still got plenty in the bag. 3 to go. Da Costa out quickly, comes that defence, and very quickly Morg is hunted down. Catalan need to find silky skills and subtlety here. Keary puts it back. Partington helps it on its way. A long way pass to left to Romano. Romano down again. Warrington's defence looking untroubled at the moment as they come out quickly again. And doesn't that sum up Catalan's attack at the moment? Frustration from Rouget. More tempers flaring. But I think the inner fire from the Catalan players will be at themselves for not really looking like they were going to score.
Absolutely, Dave. They're knocked and knocked again at the door. Pangai Jr. right in the thick of it. There's some pushing, some shoving, some sledging. But what magnificent goal-line defence from Warrington Wolves. Broken, bent. But the Dragons, there's no doubt they're a little bit off in attack, but I thought there was a knock-on at the play of the ball. It was an ugly play of the ball at best, and because of Geordie Crowther getting up quick in the face, taking time away, that was probably unneeded, that second bit. And this is often where the problems occur. Partington to Vita Pangai Jr. Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, you do not want to be throwing punches in or around anybody that's been a heavyweight boxer. Yes. He can throw them. Yep. Geordie Crowther might end up having a sit down here.
George! Wait, who's your vice? Vice captain now.
Well, he's bringing out the captains. Let's see what he says.
You two are both very senior players. I can't lecture you on how to control your team. You need to manage that yourselves. If there's anything further, I will take more action. The penalty's going against Jordan for the push in the face. The rest of it, in our opinion, is handbags. Penalty Catalan here.
Handbags. Do you want to explain what handbags are, Dave?
I think George was willing to have an argument there and then realised, well, he's made his decision.
A lot of nothing, that's what handbags is.
So what we get down to is a penalty which has given Catalan 10 metres to cover with 6 plays to have a go. Now, can they get it right now? Are they all in the same script? Sims with a settler.
It's lifted the crowd, hasn't it?
Da Costa stands and waits. Pangai Jr.'s gone down that left-hand side, but less than subtly. I think everybody in the ground saw him taking that little sneaky move, and the Warrington defence was ready. Da Costa spinning it in. Keary once more. Looking wide. Dummy runners coming. Whitehead's frustrated that he didn't get a pass. Instead, Moore kept a hold. Da Costa again. Keary trying to make something happen with a wide shot to Makinson. Back it comes to the middle again. Laguerre's hammered down. Warrington refusing to bend. Keary. Morg. Rouget. And this is good hands. And Kotrich, the final pass fails. The final pass not to hand. Warrington survive. And Catalan blow the opportunity.
Ryan Sheridan and Steve McNamara, no golden opportunities. 2 of 3 of them. That's a nice catch and pass from the centre into the path of the impressive Nick Kotrich. But that is outstanding. That is why, ladies and gentlemen, that rugby league is the most ferocious field sport in the world. Take a bow, George Williams.
Tommy Makinson has been getting a bit of treatment. I think he's gone off the field. Oh, he's still on the field, do apologise. But yes, I can see him over there, but he's had a bit of treatment. But an hour played, 12-6 Warrington. What do Catalan need here? What do Catalan need to do? How do they fix up the problems they've got up there?
It's still in the balance. I think the quality is in the ranks of Warrington, simply because there is cohesion. Warrington players more familiar, more games together, more reps on the training field. And those relationships are still in the infancy for the Catalan players.
You don't need a tackle count. Dufty takes it in again. So here comes the last. Leyland kicks away. And back comes Kotrich. With the pleasure of watching the match, Huddersfield Warrington last week, in the company of Ryan Hall, who picked out that Matt Dufty game plan of always taking in the fifth tackle, which means you've got a full chase of Warrington players, and he can just concentrate on it being a full back, can't he? Once the kick comes. Still they search. Mathieu Laguerre, 5 short of the halfway line. Da Costa in at dummy half, running out of tackles here. Pangai Jr., we know that's not going to be the end of it. Oh, it is this time. He doesn't get an offload away. Da Costa. Kick comes from Keary. Solidly pouched by Matty Ashton.
I feel like this game has been an arm wrestle for the majority of the 62 minutes. Both teams focusing on the kick. Warrington Wolves still over 80% completion. The Dragons just over 60. They haven't quite been as clinical with the ball. But both teams, I think, are prepared to defend their way to victory.
Lucas spinning it back to the middle. Here's Vaughan. 17 minutes. There's only one score in it. And although Catalan have been frustrated so often at that end of the field, it only needs one moment for it to all click, maybe two, and they are still in with a chance of winning here. Leyland sticks it high.
That shallow kick again.
I don't think anybody knew where that was coming at the moment. The back was turned by Romano. He wasn't expecting to be involved in that. And Catalan find themselves in a bit of trouble here, and only just find a bit of land inside the playing area. But just a lack of concentration there from Catalan at the back.
It's that shallow kick again. Ollie Leyland puts it high, allows his chasers to get up there and make it messy, and they almost got a reward from it. But the reward for Warrington is they're on the front foot in defence.
Pangai Jr. Well, Hull 4, Wigan 34, so hold the back page. Wigan have conceded a try, I think. 5 games previous without conceding a try. But it looks like they're well on their way to a win. But how does this one unravel? We still don't know. One play to go. Keary with a kick. Safely taken in this time by Thewlis, who goes searching again for anything in the middle that might just be a bit of a give. There's a rear on the field helping out with defence. Ashton. Here's Dufty. He's gone back 10. He's gone back 12. He's gone back. It's a negative impact.
Yeah, Desiree and Benjamin Garcia.
Well, Dufty has given the penalty away.
And that's quite right too. He's got picked up, he's got driven back, his pride is dented, and he's pushing and shoving and shouting at people. Take your medicine.
He's a brilliant attacking fullback. We saw in the first half he's a very, very good defensive fullback, but there's just that part of his game, not always letting one fly at the referee, but
he just needs to play the ball. Just get on with your job. You can see Danny Walker, George Williams, they know he's lost it.
Well, how costly is that? Because suddenly Catalan have it back. Some very easy yards earned by the penalty and the kick, and back on the cusp of attack as Busquets with the first to carry. Da Costa coming in. Keary to his left-hand side. He's just trying to beckon Sirinen back on his inside. Maybe not quite the angle that he was hoping for. Da Costa, Keary. Step away from the oncoming defence by Moore. And Makinson. Oh, it's frustration again. And not only that, they've given it away to a real Billy Whiz. But Matty Ashton is just able to make about 10-15 metres before Catalans' defence gets back there desperately. But it swings back the other way again.
Ollie Leyland did an outstanding job, got up, made it messy. That's the reason the ball went on the floor. When Catalan were looking to attack, he's on the ball now, Ollie Leyland, that's a penalty.
Legs up. Yeah, from Garcia.
Garcia, who's done more than 30 tackles in the game, gets it all wrong. The player goes back at some rate of knots. But Ollie Leyland gets up, makes it messy. He's got good footwork, hasn't he, and balance.
So now it's Warrington's turn to turn up the heat. And the locals know that. He looks anticipating. Lindop with the initial drive. Do they go left? Here's Danny Walker. Back towards the middle again. Shuffled in by Yates. Luke Yates put down. Walker stands and waits. Shifting it back. Leyland now. Hurls it out. Williams bounces off a rugged tackle coming his way. Dufty now skips and tries to glide. Everyone regathers their breath for just a moment. And now it starts again as Vaughan pushes hard. Walker's looking left and right. He's going to go to that left-hand side. Williams with a kick. And a dummy shown. And Dufty! Matt Dufty! The grimace and the growl has given way to a grin. Warrington fans celebrate. They've just opened up a match-winning lead, potentially.
He runs that ball with all the aggression that he can muster up to get over the line. Probably reeling with disappointment over the penalty he gives away. It's one of the cardinal sins in our game, to give a penalty away while you're in possession. I think this has gone up, Dave.
It has,
We've got excited.
Yeah. Video referee, let's hear from the video referee. Oh, it's a captain's challenge, so the video referee makes the judgment here.
Okay, we're on a captain's challenge. Catalans have challenged the on-field ruling of a try being scored, so they're claiming an obstruction. Let's play it through from this point, please. So through the line. You can play it from this point, please. Go back again on this, go back on this. Yeah, you can see that Warrington man's running at space. Keep playing it through. Yeah, he goes to him and initiates contact. That's a bad read by the Catalan defender. I'm playing onto the grounding now, just to confirm he does score the try. Bad read by the Catalans defender, and finish on the grounding, please. Yeah, play through, and you can see the ball is grounded. Challenge is unsuccessful, and the try stands.
So, the noise will be replicated here when that decision comes through. Unsuccessful. So the try stands, and at 16 points to 6, and Dufty a try scorer for the second week running. And Warrington will feel they're very close to the finishing line now.
Yeah, just over 11 minutes left of this game. It's a bad read by Mathieu Leguer. He runs into Toby King, gives himself away, but as I say, what a finish from the fullback. Intensity of carry. Tucks it under his wing and just bashes the fullback out of the way. Yes, he says. Celebrates along with the rest of the fans here in the Luke Littler Stadium.
The Matt Dufty Stadium just for this second. So Pulis with a tough one. right on the touchline. 2 out of 2 so far, but this is the most difficult, you'd suggest. Struck it very well. What about the fans behind the sticks? Yep, they're reaching for the skies before the flags go up. And with very nearly 17 minutes played, it is 16 points to 6.
The kick is perfect. The pass is crisp, on the money, and the finish is fabulous. When Matt Duffy plays like that, the fans here, young and old, appreciate it. But if you take that fire out of his belly, you could argue you don't get the good if you're not prepared to cope with the bad.
And there is the bad. The downright awful. Went short, and you'd have to say they had to take that gamble, but they went short, and they've given Warrington possession back on the halfway line with the penalty. Well, it's on the halfway line. It was about 10 metres inside the opposition half when Ollie Leyland kicked that out of play. Jayfield hat-trick, we're told, in that match against Hull for Wigan.
Big bounce back by Wigan. They don't lose many, and when they lose, they don't tend to lose 2 on the bounce.
Well, they are both heading to Vegas. Remember, on Sky Sports next week, Saturday night, 4 matches back-to-back, and it all starts with Warrington against Wigan in Vegas, and it looks like they are both going with a winning perspective. Warrington are looking for more here. Harrison goes left. Williams now. Oh, the ball is beyond Duffy. Back in the hands of Ashton. This is Vaughan. Having a look around, can't even think about the offload. Sam Powell, fresh from the bench. Left again. Williams again. Looking for an offload, it's gone backwards, but Scruffley, in fact, he's gone forwards, and Scruffley.
Yeah, they're continuing to persevere with that.
It's a handover.
That pass, George Williams. I think if he had the view that we had, he could see there was acres of space for the short kick behind the defenders. There's only one thing that would make Luke Littler just a little bit happier, and that's a try from his favourite player, Matty Ashton. I'm saying that loud enough for the players.
It's one thing about having a stadium named after you. You can't write a script. Oh, here comes Cottridge. Now he can travel, and he's looking back on the inside with a kick for Keary. What's the bounce like? Oh, it's beautiful from Keary's point of view, but the covering is good. Ashton had that spotted. Danger snuffed out initially, but there's more to come here. It's taken on, and more passes away, and Laguerre's bouncing over the line, and we still have a game on our hands if the try is given.
I have a try. Just confirm that his momentum takes him over the line.
Well, that's what they're looking at. Let's hear from the video referee again here, Liam Moore.
OK, lad, this is a try. We're watching the full speed, please, first. Let's go full speed. You can see his body always takes him over the line. Let's just break it down, please, now. Nice and slow. This angle will do. Yep, so you can see it's the momentum. The tackle's not complete. Play on from this point. Tackle's not complete. It's the momentum of the tackle here that carries him over the line, rather as opposed to being a promotion, and the ball is grounded. I've made my decision.
Quick view, quick decision. On we go again. This will be given. I think most in the ground expected that anyway. Laguerre with his second. Yep. Second on the night. So Warrington Wolves, we thought we're in the winning seat, but on the night this place has been rechristened the Luke Littler Stadium. It's a double from Laguerre that might yet cause some problems.
And it's a strike from distance, isn't it? Nick Cotrick made the initial break over on this left side, kicked it inside. Keary was skillful enough to pouch it. Here it is. And you're right, Dave, he's got some pace. Thulis does enough to force him into the kick. The bounce is kind, the regather is class. And Mathieu Laguerre, who's been limping for the last 5 or 10 minutes or so, benefits from a little dummy short.
Morg's kick needs to get that, and he has got it. So interest remains. 18 points to 12.
Just look at the double pump here. Shows it, makes the defenders think there might be a long pass, and then just places it into the path of Laguerre.
Well, the Catalan owner, Bernard Gouache, will be enjoying the fighting spirit that his side are producing here.
Just above him there, Steve Deakin, who's done a lot of work over in France in rugby league, celebrated his 170th birthday last weekend, so happy birthday, Deeks.
His young grandson is at Huddersfield as well,
That's right, Tom, yeah.
So, Catalan, 6 minutes to go. Looked as though it might be all over not that long ago, but now it's very much back on. Desiree on the charge. Hits at pace, goes down and gets up quickly. Da Costa now goes to that right-hand side. Morg with a step, still going. Searches inside. Keary gets it on, and Rougier will have a nibble. 4 tackles gone, 2 to go. 50 metres to cover. Keary throws it left, over their heads. Kotrich, he's looking the likeliest lad out there at the moment. Causing problems, still nicking yards off the opponents. Keary on the 6, Morg sticking it up there. There is that man again, Matty Ashton, who's there to cover any holes. King.
It's a confident take from Matty Ashton and Warrington, but they've got the sniff of something. The Catalan Dragons, they're not going away. He catches it and then he's clattered. Just 6 points the difference on the scoreboard.
Here's Powell. Williams. Rear the hips takes Warrington up to the halfway line.
He's been solid. Leads the tackle count for his side. 37 tackles. Danny Russell.
Duffy's in again. Powell waits. Anticipate the kick from Leyland. Puts it up there despite the advances of Desiree. Makinson. 4.5 minutes. Golden point has been a theme very often thus far in the season. Can Catalan force that issue again here tonight? Da Costa. Catalan probe. Keary right up to the line. This is looking good now. This is looking very good. Kotrich racing down this left-hand side. Duffy's across there, but back comes Lindop with a tackle from behind and just chops down those ambitions. But Catalan now. Keary throws it wide to that right-hand side. Whitehead gets it on its way again. Sirenen. They're running out of space. Makinson brings it back to the middle. Trying to brush off the defender, somehow again keeps it alive. Partington with a pass. Morg now, taken on this time by Romano. Warrington's scramble is good enough. Da Costa on at the last. Quick hands, oh! It's dropped by Benjamin Garcia of all players. Just the excitement gets to him.
It's remarkable effort from Warrington in defence, showing up, getting bodies in the way. You can have the most successful system and structure in the sport of rugby league, but without effort and endeavour. There's the pass, just a little bit too low for Benjamin Garcia to regather, but bodies everywhere for the Wolves. Lindop want these 2 points. Lindop really and his teammates.
So it's a fight to the finish. 3 minutes to go. I think Steve McNamara, who we saw a moment ago there, was saying that to his team. There is still time in this game. They'll get the ball back at least one more time. Harrison. Warrington know that. They need to clear their decks. Here's Powell. Duffy carries it in. Up to the halfway line.
You'd get it over the sideline now if you could.
Leyland's the man who's given the job of just hoofing that ball. He's certainly got some distance on it. caught in the end by Rouget. There's a lot of Catalan players who are a long way away from being behind the play the ball. Fatigue finally getting to them, no doubt. So it's going to be these outside backs who need to do a bit of a job here. There was a hand there from Fulis. Referee will say another set of 6.
He's going to be good when the track dries up, isn't it?
0 tackle from here. 1 minute and 45 seconds. Plenty of time for a full set, but 95 meters to cover. Da Costa. Who's got the heart? Oh, well, the pass was poor, and the chip. Very nearly that did finish it, but came last off a Warrington hand, so it will be a tap back on the 20 here.
I think Sam Burgess is just looking at this game saying, whatever it takes, let's just get to the final whistle, get the 2 points. That's all that matters. Doesn't matter what it looks like.
Desiree bangs it in, goes again. But they need massive yards now. They need a clean break. Kiri up there. He's taken on Morg. Kiri gets in there quickly, looking for Romano. The way there is blocked, so many Warrington players. 3 tackles to go in the set. And this is it for Catalan. This is the final act. Little chip over the top from Morg, but hands in there. And the knock-on is given.
They'll still get the ball, they'll still have another crack.
Well, they packed that scrum very quickly, so the referee can stop the clock with 13 seconds to go.
Yeah, disorientated Matty Ashton.
Oh, hang on, hang on. We've got a captain's challenge again.
Warrington are challenging the ruling of knock-on.
Well, let's hear from the video referee. Was this a knock-on?
OK, Warrington challenging the decision of a knock-on. First of all, just confirm the Chase are onside, which they are. So we can play it on from this point, and let's have a look at the contest to see who this comes off. Something close, please. Difficult to tell on that one. Any other angles, please?
I know, yeah, I've ruled that it's knocked on in relation to the floor, Sam.
Yeah, this one, please. So, nice and slow. So that comes, you can see that comes off Ashton's bicep there, which does constitute as being a knock-on if it's forward in relation to the ground, which is the on-field ruling. Any other angles, please, that may assist with this? Yeah, go slow on this, please. Go slow on this. Just want to confirm. So you can see it's not. Just confirm it's not touched by Makinson. Yeah, play on, play on. You can see it's not, and that does come off Ashton. So go back on to camera 4, please. Yeah, nice and slow. Yeah, play it through from here. You can see that does come off Ashton. We've confirmed that off the other angles. And that goes forward in relation to the ground. Yeah, we'll just exhaust all available replays. Yeah, so finish on this one, please. So it's missed by Makinson, comes off Ashton, and we've already established the ball goes forward in relation to the ground. Therefore, the challenge is unsuccessful.
Thanks, Liam.
Well, an unsuccessful challenge, and that nobody yet has won a captain's challenge. We don't know what's going on at all, but any game we've seen has not been successful. But that tactically is a brilliant challenge for Warrington,
because it gives them a full 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Get some air in the lungs, prepare for the onslaught that Catalan Dragons are going to throw at them now.
Well, the clock is ticking on. No, he stopped it. 6 seconds. So this is the last play of the game, unless Catalan can score and potentially take us to golden point extra time. What have they got up their sleeves? Kiri just hammers it. There's not much of a chase before he kicked it. So as soon as Duffy caught it, of course, that was going to be it. Unless he can give us a champagne finish down this left-hand side. Matty Ashton eventually tackled, and that will be that. Oh, he got what he came to see. A Warrington win, and it's their second of the season, back-to-back. But the rough and tumble of the previous 80 minutes spills over into a little bit of afterplay as well. Is the referee going to be having a word with anyone here, or is he just happy to separate them and get them off the field?
I'm happy to tell him that there's no foul play.
No foul play, I think we heard him say. So he steps away. Everybody's friendly again. The whistle blows, and Warrington have their second win. Again, maybe not as smooth as they were hoping for tonight. And Catalan frustrated also for a second successive week. It has finished Warrington 18, Catalans 1.